Today we will learn about the predicates and quantifiers. Example: what is the truth value of for all x p of x, where p of x is the statement x square is less than 10 and the domain consists of the positive integers not exceeding 4. P of x is a statement x square is less than 10. So and the domain is real numbers, yeah. So p of x is any number whose square is less than 10. Uh, Positive integers, these are the positive integers not exceeding 4. So if you square 1, x is equal to 1. If the value of x is equal to 1, then 1 square 1 is equal to 1, and that is less than 10. And uh, if you place a square on 2, value of x becomes 2. 4 is less than 10. If the value of x is 3, then the square is 9, so 9 is less than 10. So for all x this statement holds, this one. So this is for all p of x. P of x is the statement x square is less than 10. So if I say that the value of x becomes 4, then this statement becomes false, because the square of the 4 is 16, which is not less than 10. All right. So the solution is the statement for all p of x is the same as the conjunction p1, p2, p and p4, because the domain consists of 1, 2, 3 and 4. Because p of 4, which is the statement 4 square is less than 10, is false, it follows that for all x p of x is false, means for this particular value this statement becomes false. Another example: what does the statement for all nx mean? If nx is a computer, nx is the statement computer x is connected to the network. Now we are going to see what this statement is. For all x n of x and n of x only, this n of x is the statement computer x is connected to the network and the domain consists of all computer on the campus. The statement for all nx means that for every computer x on campus, that computer X is connected to the network. This statement can be expressed in English as every computer on campus is connected to the network. In simple words, again we see this. The statement, the quantifier is the statement with the quantifier is for all x n of n of x, and this n of x is the statement computer x is to connected to the network. Computer x is connected to the network, this one. Okay, all right. So for all x, because x belongs to the domain consist of all computer on campus, if there is for all x, so the statement finally will be in English: every computer on the campus is connected to where? To the network. All right. Now we come to the existential quantifier. What is the existential quantifier? Existential quantifier is basically we see, we say that this is there exist. So let us understand the existential quantifier. Many mathematical statements assert that there is an element with a certain property. Such statements are expressed using existential quantification. Okay. With existential quantification, we form a proposition that is true if and only if p of x is true for at least one value of x in the domain. All right. So existential quantifier gives us the idea that for some p of x there must be one x true. At least one value of x in the domain is true. Okay. All right. So we will understand this how the existential quantification of p of x is the proposition there exists an element x in the domain such that p of x means there is an x for which p of x statement is true. Okay, we use this notation, and when we say there exists an element means this statement there exists an element, this is this notation there exists x p of x for existential quantification means there exists an x for which this p of x is true. All right, so this statement shows there exists x p of x for the existential quantification of p of x. Here this symbol is called there exist existential quantifier, and this is called the existential quantifier. This one is existential quantifier. A domain must always be specified when a statement there exists x p of x is used. Domain must be specified. Okay, a domain must always be specified when a statement there exists x p of x is used. Furthermore, the meaning of there exists x p of x changes when the domain changes. All right, if you change the domain then the meaning of this statement will change. Okay, without specifying the domain the statement there exists x p of x has no meaning. Means you must specify the domain, otherwise there is no any meaning for this. Okay, besides the phrase there exists we can also express the existential quantification in many other ways, such as by using the word for some. Okay, so there exist may be replaced by for some or may be used for some for at least one there is. So these are the equivalent of these statement. This English word there exist have these equivalent English uh, phrases for some, at least one, for at least one, or there is. The existential quantification there exist p of x is read as quantification there exists x p of x is read as there is an x such that p of x. So if I say uh, there is, so there exists an x can be for some x or for at least one x such that p of x. So there is at least one x such that p of x means p of x is true for at least one uh, x or for some x p of x. Example is here, let p of x denote the statement x is greater than 3. So let's suppose we have a statement x is greater than 3 and we denote it by p of x. What is the truth value of the quantification? There exists p of x. Okay, where the domain consists of all real numbers. Solution, because x is greater than 3 is sometimes true. For instance, when x is equal to 4, the existential quantification of p of x, which is there exists x, is true. Okay, so this is true. For what statement? P of x, and p of x is the statement x is greater than 3. So there exists an x, which x is equal to 4. All right, that 4 is greater than 3. So there exists an x for p of x, means p of x is true. Example, this is the example. Let us see this example. What does this say? Uh, Let q of x denote the statement x is equal to x plus 1. So q of x is denoting basically this x is equal to x plus 1. What is the truth value of the quantification? There exists x q of x where the domain consists of all real numbers. So the solution is, because q of x is false for every real number x. Okay, so this q of x is false for every real number of x. The existential quantification of q of f, which is there exist x q of x, is false. So if you say that this q of x is the statement x is equal to x plus 1 for all real numbers, means this x is a real number, alright. And if we check any real number, suppose we take any value 2.5, so 2.5 is equal to 2.5 plus 1 is not possible. Any real number 2 is equal to 2 plus 1 is not possible. So the statement, this one, there exists x q of x, is false. Remark: generally, an implicit assumption is made that all domains of discourse for quantifiers are non empty. If the domain is empty, then there exists x q of x is false whenever q of x is propositional function, because when the domain is empty there can be no element x in the domain for which q of x is true. When all elements in the domain can be listed, say x1 x2 xn, the existential quantification is same as the distinction. So if there exists a domain x1 x2 xn, all right, okay, where you choose the value of the what x, so any of this statement is true, then the whole statement is true. How? Because px1 or px2 or this any is true, so the statement there exists xp of x is true, because this distinction is true if and only if at least one px1 or px2 is true up to the pxn. So we say we check out with what distinction, this one or. Okay, next example: what is the truth value of there exists p of x where p of x is an statement x square is greater than 10? All right, the universe of discourse consists of the positive integers not exceeding 4. Okay, okay, so if you check this statement, statement is true when the value x is greater than 4, because if you square 3, 3 becomes 9, 9 is not greater than 10. But if you take the value of x as 4 and square it, 4 square 16 is greater than 10, so this statement becomes true. P of x is the statement. Okay, so we see the solution because the domain is 1, 2, 3, 4. The proposition, if we have this domain and we check this statement, this one, okay, for this domain, so the proposition there exists x p of x is same as the distinction. Any of this is true, all right. So which one is true? P of 4 is true because the square of 4 is greater than 10. So because P of 4, which is the statement that is true, it follows that there exists x P of x is true. Now we come to the logical equivalences involving quantifiers. Okay, a statement involving predicates and quantifiers are logically equivalent if and only if they have the same truth values, no matter which predicates are substituted into these statements and which domain of discourse is used for the variables in these propositional functions, we use the notation S is equivalent to T. This one, S is equivalent to T, to indicate that two statement S and T involving predicates and the quantifiers are logically equivalent. Means if what S says is equivalent to T, whatever S is equivalent to T. All right. So example show that for all x p of x and q of x is logically equivalent to this one, and for all x p of x and for all x q of x are logically equivalent, where the same domain is used throughout. This logical equivalence shows that we can distribute a universal quantifier over conjunction. Okay, means this is basically showing that this is a conjunction, this one. So we can place this for all x value with p of x and for all x p of x. So if you see, it is here for all x, but in the second in this statement this is associated with p of x and q of x. So the logical equivalences shows that we can distribute a universal quantifier over a conjunction. Means this is a conjunction, so you distribute with p of x and then q of x as in this statement. So these both are logically equivalent. Furthermore, we can also distribute an existential quantifier over. So suppose that for all x p of x and q of x is true. Okay, this means that if a is in the domain, then p of a and q of a is true. This is another statement p of a, this is another statement q of a. Hence p of a is true, but both have same domain. So p of a is true and q of a is true because p of a is true and q of a is true for every element in the domain. We can conclude that for all x p of x and for all x q of x are both true. This means that for all x p of x and for all x q of x is true. So this statement is logically equivalent to what? This one. For all x p of x and q of x is equivalent to for all x p of x and for all x q of x. So you can see in logical equivalence for all this quantifier, universal quantifier, is distributed with the statement p of x and the predicate q of x. Negating quantified expressions. We will often want to consider the negation of a quantified expression. For instance, consider the negation of the statement every student in your class has taken a course in calculus. All right. So we are basically now discussing the negation of the quantified expressions or negating quantified expressions. So how that is the, so if you see every student in your class has taken a course in calculus, what could be the negation of this statement? The negation of this statement may be in any a student that has not taken a course in the calculus. There is a student in your class that has not, who has not taken a course in the calculus, because the statement is hmm, yes. Ha. Yes, bilkul, this is right. At least one student in your class has not taken the course in calculus. This is also right. Because the statement is every student in your class has taken a course in calculus, and the negation of this is a student, there is a student or at least one student for some student x, suppose. So if a student has not taken a course in the calculus, then the negation of this statement will be something like that. The statement is, if we write the statement, basically this is for all x p of x. Okay, if you write in the existential quantifiers, sorry, the universal quantifiers are in the quantification notation. So every student in your class has taken a course in calculus. So we say for all x, means x denotes the student in your class. P of x means has taken a course in the calculus, where P of x is the statement x has taken a course in the calculus, and the domain consists of the student in your class. Okay, the negation of the statement is, it is not the case that every student in your class has taken a course in calculus. So the negation is that it is not the case that every student, means there is one student who has not taken, or there are some students who have not taken the course in the calculus. This is equivalent to, there is a student in your class who has not taken a course in calculus, and this is simply the existential quantification of the negation of the original propositional function, namely. So if you see for all x p of x, so the statement is p of x is what? P of x is the student has taken calculus course in your class. Okay, so its statement will go to the negation, not p of x has not taken course calculus in your course in calculus. Okay, so there exist, means there is one student. So negation of this for all x p of x is what? There exists x, not p of x. Symbolically, when you will be asked to negate this statement for all x p of x, you will write there exists x, not p of x. This example illustrates the following logical equivalence. So this is logically equivalent, that not for all x p of x there exists x not p of x. Both statements are logically equivalent. How they are logically equivalent? Because this statement is, there is any student who has not taken the course in calculus. So if you forget this negation and say that for all students in the class, all students in the class have taken course in the calculus. Okay, so we say not, means not all, not every student. Every student in your class has taken a course in calculus? No, not every, no, means not everyone, but some. Okay, so these two are logically equivalent. So look again, the negation of this statement is different from the logical equivalence, because the negation of this is this one, and there is no negation, means the negation of this is this one. And if you again place a negation, so these will be the logically equivalent. Means if I say p, the negation of this is not p. Okay, all right, but again not p, and not p is equivalent to what? This is equivalent to what? P. Okay, so this is something like this. So negation of this is this, they but this is logically equivalent like this one. Okay, clear? Suppose we wish to negate an existential quantification. For instance, consider the proposition: there is a student in this class who has taken a course in calculus. This is existential quantification, this one. There is x q of x, means a student x has taken a course in the calculus. There is a student in this class who has taken a course in the calculus, means if you say existentially, in the perspective of existential quantification, so we say there is a student who has taken a course in the calculus. So we write there is x q of x, where q of x is a statement x X has taken a course in calculus, the negation of this statement is the proposition what? It is not the case that there is a student in this class who has taken a course in the calculus. Okay, this is equivalent to every student in the class has taken calculus. Okay, so the negation is this: every student in the class has taken the calculus, because the statement says there is a student in the class who has taken a course in the calculus, but we negate it. We say no, not one student, but all students. Every student in the class has taken calculus. So negation is this one. So there exists q of x means uh, x has taken uh, 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 okay. So for all x not q of x. This is the negation of this. Because this statement q of x is the statement x has taken a course in the calculus. So negation is what all students have taken. Okay. So this example illustrates the equivalence. Again, likewise, if you negate it, this will become exactly this one. So not there exists x q of x is equivalent to for all x not q of x. De Morgan's law for quantifiers fires. So as we uh, reviewed the things and we came up to this mm, table, we have come up to this table. So we have a look. So De Morgan's laws for quantifiers. Negation. The negation, there exists x p of x is basically large equivalent statement is for all x not p of x. Not for all x p of x. So the equivalent negation equivalent statement is there exists not p of x. When is negation true? For every x p of x is false. So there is an x for which p of x is false. When false, there is an x for which p of x is true. So look, for every x p of x is false, there is an x for which p of x is true. There is an x for which p of x is false, p of x is true for every x. So in the next example we will understand this. What are the negation of these statements? There is an honest politician and all Americans eat cheeseburgers. So we have two statements and in between there is n. So we first understand there is an honest politician. So let's suppose this statement, the domain is the politicians. What is the domain? Politicians. Domain is the politician. So X is a politician. X politician. So there is an honest politician. Let H of X means politician. X means politician. Denote X is honest. Politician is honest. So H of X, there is, now you see, there is. So we say there exists X H of X because H of X is honest. Then the statement there is honest politician. Okay, is represented by what? There exists X H of X, where the domain consists of all politicians and the domain is basically all politicians. The negation of this statement is not there exists X H of X, which is equivalent to means for all x not q of h of x. H of x is what? X is honest. So not every politician is honest. The negation can be expressed as every politician is dishonest. Okay, every politician. So the statement is there is an honest politician, but the negation of this statement every politician is dishonest. Note in English the statement all politicians are not honest is ambiguous. In common usage, this statement often means not all politicians are honest. Consequently, we do not use this statement to express this negation. So the word dishonest is better to use, dishonest. Let C of x denote the x eats cheeseburgers, then the statement all Americans eat cheeseburgers. So this can be represented by for all x C of x, where the domain consists of all Americans. The negation of this statement is not for all x C of x, which is equivalent to, so there exists x not q of x. So there exists an American who does not eat cheeseburger. The negation can be expressed in several different ways, including some American does not eat cheeseburger, and there is American who does not eat cheeseburgers. Example, uh, uh, the next example. Now we will apply the De Morgan's law here, basically. So how will we apply the De Morgan's law? So show that for not for all x p of x, if p of x then q of x, and there exists x p of x and q of x are logically equivalent. सही है? Okay, so let's see how the De Morgan's law applies here. By De Morgan's law for universal quantifiers, we know that not for all x p of x, if p of x then q of x and are logically equivalent, and there exists x not uh, if not p of x, sorry, if p of x, not if p of x then q of x are logical equivalent. By fifth logical equivalence in table 7 section 1.3, we know that this statement means which statement, not p of x, if p of x then q of x, not if p of x then q of x, means here this statement is logically equivalent to what, this one, p of x and not q of x. All right, how? Because if you see, there is the implication, the operator, and this changes to the end operator. Okay, so if p of x, not if p of x then q of x is equivalent to what, p of x and not q of x. So if this statement is equivalent to this, because we have learnt previously that the negation of the if statement is like this, are logically equivalent. So what we do, we place this one here. Okay, all right, all right, logically equivalent. So because we can substitute on logical equivalent expression for another in a logical equivalent, it follows that not p of x and there exist p of x and are logically equivalent. All right, because not for all x, no, no, this converts to this, there exists x, means not every, means there is x, there is some x. Okay, and the logical equivalence of this is what, this one. So this is the logical. So this was the end of this lecture today, and we will continue with more stuff inshallah.